Yep. Welcome to another live broadcast of a different day with Jah and
It's Neci. Good afternoon.
we got Shannon Neci in the building. She's back. She gonna be gone soon, but she here now, so enjoy her while she here.
Take me when you have me.
You gotta love them when they're there, man. Hey, that's what it is. Give her flowers while you can see it. So we got a lot to cover today. It's been a lot going on. How have you been? How you spend your weekend? You been out and about? You been in these streets again?
First of all, stop sounding so judgmental. It's not my fault you gotta be home and in bed by 9. That's not my problem. That's your problem. Okay?
Mhm.
This weekend, however, it's been a pretty rainy weekend. It's been really raining on Thursday. I'm sorry, Friday for sure. It was pouring horses and cows, which we
Mhm.
do need. So I'm not, hey, thank you for the rain. We appreciate it. It's been extremely dry. I hope people's cisterns are full. Mine's full. I'm grateful. So it's been kind of a rainy day, but there was a lot of things happening this weekend. But I was really home getting house stuff done.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, maybe it's me, right? But okay, so Carnival has started in St. Thomas. It's officially kicked off. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm tripping because I don't keep my ear to the streets enough. But has it seemed like this Carnival energy like it's been kind of dimmed? Like I ain't hearing nobody talk about it. I ain't seeing no live videos or nothing. I could just be out the loop.
No, I mean, I honest even for the village opening in terms of when it's going to be open. Like usually there's a build up to the village opening and stuff like that. I haven't heard it.
Hmm.
Um, but I've seen a lot of private events for sure that's being pushed. I've seen
Okay.
a lot of artists has made it to St. Thomas. I saw Adam was in the schools along with our Raw FM team doing big things, talking to the kids and performing. So there's been things happening. I've been seeing clips, but maybe the village ain't officially open yet, and it just kind of like boots are open per se because that's another thing. Like, people are going to open to try to sell food as early as possible. It's about, making a profit as well. And they want to maximize on that too.
Shout out the Raw FM team. If I see them on the street, get them a live interview, shout them out or whatever. If you see that Raw FM flag waving, get them, like go up to them, say what's up. Tell them that you love listening to Raw FM. Tell them your favorite station is Raw FM because it need to be because we are the number one station in the U.S. Virgin Islands after all. But yeah, just don't be shy. Go ahead and show some love, man. It's
It's
free.
great.
So speaking of Carnival, the lineup is out, which I thought like it just got updated last week because it
Okay.
had a smaller one and then it got updated again. So we want to just cover that real quick. The 73rd St. Thomas Carnival Village lineup. What is this? Is Willis Vance and Steve Pinney's musical parlor? Is that the name of it? Because if it don't rhyme, it ain't make no sense. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Well, the village is usually named after a person or organization that contributes to the community throughout the year. So
Uh-huh.
that's just who the village is named after.
Okay. Thank you. Monday, April 28th, we got
Oh,
Lady Nick
tonight. So it's opening tonight. Okay. Gotcha.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. I thought it was
Oh,
gonna open yesterday because it would make sense to open it yesterday as a weekend. But
who
my
knows?
bad, I had the wrong date. My bad.
It's all good. Bring back the brass. Lady Mix and Super Tracks International. Everybody's favorite gray bearded guy is on the ones and twos. That's Nisi's man right there. Farmer Nappy,
Hey,
12-day resurrection, Jamban. I did not know Jamban is still around. My bad.
yes, they are. That's what you don't know nothing. You
I
don't know
don't.
nothing.
Nadia Batson in the building.
Hey,
Mike Love and
naughty.
Charleston
You
Street.
gotta say naughty. That's how you don't say naughty. You say naughty. I gotta get some
Naughty,
cultural stuff. You behind. You behind.
naughty.
No,
I
no,
got,
no, no, no. It's a singing. You guys, never mind. Go ahead.
I got.
Continue.
Okay, that's too much. I got to sing it now. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. The next night, Tuesday, April 29th, Neon Glow Fest. We got DJ Red, 1013 Raw FM's very own Malcolm Vex, and DJ Red. Climax Band, Spectrum Band, Mr. Ridge, I'm assuming, because just a Ridge, Trilogy. What is that? REO or REQ? What is?
You know, you're presuming I can read this flyer on the screen, but I cannot. Not, and it has nothing to do with my glasses. Sure. It's just not extremely clear at all.
We're going to go with REQ. Collision Band, Triple K. On Wednesday, April 30th.
What day is that?
That's Tuesday, April 29th.
Fly over Tuesday. Okay, no problem.
Are you planning to go over for real or what?
I really wasn't, but I love me some Triple K.
Okay. Wednesday, April 30th. Greek Night. DJ Black and International Steven. RVP Band. El Blackie. Catch the Band. Full Blown. We got Third. Kai and Mr. Pumpa himself. What's the proper pronunciation? Is it Pumpa or Pumpa?
Pumpa.
All right. Rio pronounced Rio. All right. Rio. That's Tuesday. Rio. REO. All right. On Thursday, old school, new school reggae. We got VI Dream Team and Noah Power. Reggae Dynasty. Massacre. Shabba Ranks. Pressure Bus Pipe. Glad to hear that he's okay and performing again. Beanie Man and Valiant. That's big. That's pretty big. Friday, May 2nd, we got Tropical Paradise, Red Lion, and Super Tech. We got 5-2, one of my favorite rappers, Lady Lava, Exodus, Mikal Teja, Lyrical, Star Martin, Skinny Fabulous. All right. Saturday, May 3rd, Madras Mass. We got DJ Whatever and DJ Avalanche. Black Empire. Hey, shout out Blackest and Black Empire. Tamisha, Voice, Uncle Man, and Adam O. All right. So what do you think about the lineup? What do you think about the lineup?
Sounds good. Lots of local talent. I love that for us. A good mix of international talent. But you know what I noticed with St. Thomas? Mm-hmm. They don't have we have a Latin night. They don't have Latin nights and stuff like that.
I wonder why.
I like that there's a difference in the two events.
No, they don't.
But now you're reading it now, I realize, they don't have any Latin night. Well,
interesting. Yeah, good point. They don't have it on there for sure. And
but before you move on, I want to make a quick point, okay? Because I couldn't read that flyer just now.
Okay.
And it's because I'm on my iPhone. Because I pull it up on my Android in the stream, and I could read it on my Android. So it's definitely these iPhones.
Hey, Androids. Book to the Androids. Like, y'all be playing. See, she got two phones, so she could discriminate. She got two, so she could say which one is better.
I got two phones. One for the. Oh, sorry, wrong thing.
Both of mine is Android, so I can't say nothing. But you heard it here straight from she. All right, she got two phones. She should know. Shout out 5-2 and Third and Pumpa and all of them that are VI born and bred and showing love and getting their chance in the sun. Keisha asks, I wonder if Latin night is mostly celebrated here on cruise. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we have a more Latin base? Like, we got more Latin communities? Like, is that what's going on?
It seems specific to us. And I don't have a problem with it. I just know you're reading it out like day by day. It just dawned on me like there's no Latin night, like no Latin artists.
Because when we refer to like Taino history and stuff, we do mostly be talking about on St. Croix, on on Santa Cruz. But yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. So we got something. We've seen a post and I thought it was interesting. I want to see which things that you agree with. Since we're talking about village, I want to see which things I agree with, which things you don't, what could change, what should add, whatever. All right. So Ivan Tompaf Williams posted the village rules. All right, we're going to go over these village rules to make your carnival experience wonderful this year. Number one, if you don't like the food of a certain booth, just don't go back. Don't be jeopardizing those folks' businesses by complaining on FB. Someone else may enjoy the food. You know, VI folks are easily manipulated by a post on Facebook. Don't say nothing. You shouldn't say nothing. What I think?
What is happening?
What are you doing? 2, Spanish folks, no coolers in the village this year. Support the booth owners like we locals support all you bars. I swear I have a small cooler. I will start walking with it full of drinks when I visit all you establishments to play the video poker machines. Stop being so blasted.
Hello? Oh my gosh.
Nisi, you want to go out and come back in? Come in, what's going on your end? It's okay to wear clothes from last carnival. Don't mind these folks
Hello?
about outfits. I can hear you fine. It's okay to wear clothes from last carnival. Don't mind these folks about new outfits. I know whatever t-shirt I grab first I'm wearing. I don't care if it says Carnival 2009. It's okay to wear clothes from last carnival. I mean, it's yours. You buy it till you get it. What difference does it make? No fighting in the village. Please, please, please. Keep the violence at home. Don't bring it outside with you. Keep it where you live. Punch a pillow. Whatever card you get for carnival, just take it. When the dude goes back to the States and she has drained him for all his money, she will be back. It's tradition. You just deal with it. You roaches that like to take pictures of the children parade route 6 a.m. in the morning and make it look like there's no support, stop it. If you ain't attending, just stay home. The rest of us will be out there. Every year, I do the same blank. You, number 6, you guys, you always begging for drinks in the village. Get your finances out. That buy me a drink is annoying. Then your broke self going from booth to booth with the same big red cup looking double shots with you. They say if you're broke, stay home. No complaining about who on the stage. The lineup has been out for weeks now. Come enjoy yourself and stop being so friggin' dry and miserable. Women with those awesome body shapes, please wear tight clothes. Some of us love it. It's called eye candy. Ignore the haters that are shaped like a melted popsicle. No body shaming. It's carnival and we are having fun. Number 9, this is a big one. If you have breath issues, stop whispering in folks' ear because the music is loud. Walk with 10 mints in your pocket and take one every 20 minutes. Bad breath, rum, and fried fish smells like toxic chemical waste. Work with us this carnival. 10, have a great carnival with lots of laughter and fun. Leave all the drama home. Ladies, stop cutting up your eyes at that lady with your ex. You said you didn't want him. Move along. Also, fellas, keep all that tetanus out of the village. Some are all you worse than women. Let's have a ball and remember, go Celtics. I ain't repping Celtics at all.
What does that have to do with carnival? What was that? Go Celtic, go South. What was that?
Nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with the Virgin Islands, do you? 1 and 2 depends on a couple of things, which solely based upon the situation at hand. Drinks be expensive, so if they save, no problem. And if you try to rectify a situation with service of the food you got and booth owner act up, then social media it is. What do you think about blasting a booth owner on Facebook? What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think it's necessary always. I think things do happen. I think mistakes happen, especially in the food industry. I feel like if you try to resolve it with the booth owner and then it came to a dissatisfaction on both ends, it's one thing. But to just, hinder a person who spent money to participate in this, they're there for a purpose and a purpose, which is to absolutely make a profit, hopefully. Not everybody gets to make a profit. Some people break even, which is even worse. And what we don't want is a lack of booth owners participating, and then we don't have any food at the village either. So it doesn't benefit. So yes, sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's needed, sometimes you have to let people know what's happening. But I think for the most part, we should just try to reconcile things with the individuals in real time. And most people might be willing to accommodate you or accommodate the situation that happened.
Thank you for stating that, because 1, I think do not leave the booth, right? Eat the food, go home, then decide you're gonna make a post. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to the person, see if maybe something going on, they could fix it for you or whatever. As far as blasting online, unless it can make someone sick, unless like you left the village and you got sick or something like that, like it's a hazard, I don't think it's necessarily necessary to make a post. And like Neci said, again, talk to them now. Try talking to them. The first step of conflict resolution is trying to deal with the person in face to face. Like, I don't want to say it, but a lot of us scared. You go home, you get behind, and then you get the Twitter fingers and all of that. No, say it to them. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe something happened. Two, for me, you know that the price is going to be, them booth owners are trying to make back money that they spent to be there, plus make a profit, Do not go complaining about the cost. And cost is going up across the board for the United States, for the Virgin Islands, for everyone. These people paid to be there. Do not complain about the cost. Bring your money or don't go.
Or eat before you leave.
That's what I'm saying.
You could bring your food with you. Bring your sandwich. Bring your whatever. Sit down and eat in the village. You don't have to buy. I mean, the point is to support them. The point is to participate and to spend your money and recircle it back into our community. That is absolutely the point. But if that's like for me, I have a severe allergy. I can't just go willy-nilly in everywhere and eat in all kind of house because I can't risk that. But I do support people when I go to the village. I have people that I support every year. I know I like, certain things I would buy because I know it's just like, I know you ain't frying the shrimp in the chicken oil.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I could buy a fried chicken leg. But me ain't gonna buy like fish. Because you gonna have a bunch of different oils to sort on how you cook and what. So there's just ways about it. Just be mindful. Let's be patient too. Let's be understanding. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good experience. I am so happy, we're the only place that has three different opportunities to have FET a year. And we need to make the most of it.
Enjoy, make the most of it for real, for real. How about this? Instead of waiting to get home to blast the negative, how about you go ahead and big up the ones that you had the good experiences with?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How about shouting out them there?
Mm-hmm.
Get more people to see and taste what you had. You know what I mean? Like do that instead. Because one thing that people to do is complain. My God. All right, we're gonna get into the news real quick, and then we're gonna get into the other stuff. We'll get into the other stuff. So Neci's telling me I have a story that's local that she don't want me to touch. But I think it's necessary. But we'll get into this. The Virgin Islands Lottery has issued another update on its ongoing closure, stating that operations remain suspended as it continues to recover from a recent cyber attack that significantly disrupted its systems. The disruption was first announced over a month ago on March 17th, sparking concern over the scope of the cyber attack. To date, VIL, which is Virgin Islands Lottery, has not disclosed details about the nature of the breach or the specific steps required for full recovery. Now, on this particular topic, I don't know how much you guys have been following it, but it took a sitting senator to actually say something about them not putting out a statement for them to issue this statement. So that's why we're here. And this has been going on for a little while now.
I don't mean to cut you, but they have reopened. They have a new update. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They are reopened. They reopened on Tuesday, April 29th. They'll be reopened and starting the drawings tomorrow, April 28th. So they will be reopened as of tomorrow.
And what about the money that for the previous drawings that the winners weren't announced? Did they say anything about that?
Well, they will be conducting the drawing for, I think, the 1047. I don't know where, I'm not 100% with everything, but they will, people who purchase drawings for that, tickets for that drawing, along with the previous winners and so forth, they will be honoring those payments. But they're just only going to be reopening from tomorrow, so they're going to start working on getting that all rectified this week.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the update. And also, what I do want to interject right now is there will be a health and wellness virtual workshop that I don't know about Neci because she keeps saying she's going to be there. May 13th and May 14th, 7 p.m., about an hour and a half long. We have the owner and lead medical fitness practitioner, Dawn Wells. She will actually be leading this thing, and I for sure will be co-hosting it. It's only $7. We did a episode with her, and the episode was not long enough to contain all the questions. She specializes in blood-based nutrition, so she talks about how to eat right for your blood type. And there were a ton of questions, so we decided to turn it into a workshop. It's going to be a Zoom workshop. Get all your questions and answers out. So if you are of the age where now you're taking medications and you want to get off those medications like high blood pressure, diabetes, or at least get them lowered, this is the one for you. And this is all science-based. It's called the 3S method. Three S's, huh? What do you say? The 3S's standard for science, spirit, and support. So we're gonna go into all of it, but it's not no hoodoo voodoo nonsense. It's all science backed. It's strictly diet, nutrition based, right? Eating nutritionally, exercising, and taking care of your body. There's no like, this isn't no quick thing. If you're looking for a pill or a drink this or eat that, this ain't that. This is how to actually change your lifestyle so you could get off those pills and get healthier. So again, it's $7. If you're interested, you can always reach out to the page, DM us, let us know. It's May 13th, May 14th, starting at 7 p.m. both nights, and it's about an hour and a half. Let us know if you're interested. All right. Woo! 0 days without colonizer BS. So here we go. All right. So we have Tara, Pure You. She came down, she was visiting, and she had a spot, right, in St. Thomas called Breeze St. Thomas. They opened up the venue to her, and this happened. Hey, a bit unhappy here as someone took the right to take my laptop at Emerald Beach yesterday, 22nd April, from my bag. I had a swim and walk after working the day after. I got back from the sea. I see that someone took my laptop. Who has the right to do so? Why is this island so full of people, mostly Black locals? Why try to compare themselves to others? I heard a lot of pain and anger, like the white people are not fair or life is not fair. What is that? I'm not going to read this whole thing because English is clearly her second language. However, so she came to St. Thomas, had a spot. She was going to do a yoga and detox session. She blamed locals for stealing her laptop. Things like this ensued. All little Black minds need to learn anything what is not theirs in not there to take. Like this gibberish. Well, the backlash was immediate, and Breeze St. Thomas released a statement canceling that workshop. Good afternoon. A visiting yoga teacher requested to teach a workshop at our studio this weekend. We have hosted hundreds of incredible events over the last 8 years from teacher requests and are very open to new teachers having a space to share. But upon discovering the racist and disgusting posts and comments made by said teacher, this event was immediately canceled. Racism is never welcome in our space, and we are equally disgusted and offended by what was shared. Sincerely, the Breathe team. So shout out to Breathe St. Thomas. Thank you for acting swiftly and canceling that and ending that. Now, mind you, after blaming locals for stealing it, she then comes on and apologizes. She found her laptop. I apologize if I caused anger here. I was upset and not sure what to do. Laptop found, so all good. Sorry for the confusion and peace to all. So she found the laptop. It's all good. I apologize. I didn't know what to do, so I went racist, apparently. Right? So now the woman went to St. Croix now and is scheduled at the Palms Resort at Pelican Cove, where apparently a lot of Virgin Islanders have reached out via email and through their Facebook page and calls to get this event canceled. They're claiming that they do not know, or they did not know about what happened in St. Thomas. They didn't know about all this, and they don't monitor their page, but they're working on a statement and considering canceling. So we're waiting to find out about what's going on with that. All right. Yeah, peace to all, man. Y'all just need to detox and relax. But yeah, so that's where we are on that. I wanted to let y'all know. So please, I can't tell y'all what to do, but keep in mind that people have bad spirits and bad energies, and they come from out of town and they bring it there. We're very welcoming, very inclusive. However, this happens. I ain't gonna say nothing else. All right. So you want to get straight into the topic at hand, man?
Sure.
All right. Before we even start, right? The views and opinions of this show do not necessarily reflect the views of the broadcaster. I want to tell you that now. What we're about to get into is a very adult topic. This is an adult show. We no longer stream or on the radio because of technical difficulties, but still we want to respect the broadcaster 101.3 Raw FM. We're going to keep the conversation as adult as possible. We will not, go into anything, and we'll attempt not to trigger anything in anyone. So we're letting you know this next topic involves allegations of sexual assault and abuse. So if those things trigger you, this will be the only time that I say, feel free to click off of the live and come back a little later maybe. But yeah, we're going to get into a very adult topic, and we're going to cover multiple bases because there's a lot of conversation about this. And I don't know if the conversation is even focusing on what happened. It's more focused on ages, which I think is wild. What are we talking about? Talking about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is currently being accused of sexual assault, anally raping a young woman. Shannon Sharpe is born in water. All right, we're going to get into it. Pro Football Hall of Famer and podcast star Shannon Sharpe sued for sexual assault and battery. Former NFL star tight end Shannon Sharpe has been accused of multiple instances of assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery in a lawsuit filed Sunday by an anonymous woman and her attorneys. She is no longer listed as anonymous because Shannon came out with his own statement, letting people know that it's Gabriella Zuniga, a 20-year-old OnlyFans social media influencer. Sharpe's legal representatives called the lawsuit an attempt to shake down the popular podcaster for millions of dollars and said he categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct. In the suit filed in a Las Vegas district court, Jane Doe accuses the popular host of the Club Shay Shay podcast of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff during a nearly 2-year period that started in 2023 as a consensual relationship when the woman was 20 years old. Civil complaint alleges Sharpe, 56, violently sexually assaulted and anally raped plaintiff in October 2024 and again in January of this year in Las Vegas, Nevada, blatantly ignoring her request for him to stop. The suit states after many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and blank plaintiff. Let me stop saying that word. Despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. When asked if Jane Doe had contacted police during or after the alleged assaults, the plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, said he could not comment. I'd like to state that Tony Busby has alleged of rape also with Jay-Z previously, with a young lady who then dropped the case when some stuff came out and it basically wasn't true what she was saying. When asked if Jane Doe had contacted police during or after the alleged assaults, the plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, said he could not comment. The attorney told CNN it takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. All right. Neci, what do you think about that? You have any stance at all on this? No? You ain't got nothing to say?
It's just, I mean, I don't know. What I don't like about it is how easy someone's reputation can be canceled with an allegation and without anything factual. And I'm definitely one to not believe people who say they've been assaulted, because there's so many women who go unheard and unbelieved when they do finally speak out about being assaulted. And I definitely think that we should believe victims when they say they've been assaulted. We've also seen that some people use situations as a quick rich scheme as well. And
Mhm.
I don't know this young lady to say that's what she's doing, but we have seen that played out before where it turns into a quick rich get scheme. And then we also see where people's like, oh, they settle out of court, so something had to happen, and don't understand the legal system to understand why sometimes that happens. So, from a legal perspective, if, for instance, because people are talking about, oh, they tried to settle, so something had to have happened, or maybe he did do it, that's not true. I've worked in the legal system, and I can tell you, if you say, for example, she's suing for 50 million, and your attorney is like, okay, she want 50 million, it's going to cost you, legally, just court fees and your attorney, whatever. At least we anticipate the trial to last X amount of time, blah, 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 the work we got to put in. It's going to cost you about $8 million. So you decide to settle for 10
Mhm.
because no matter what the outcome of the trial is going to be, you have to pay this 8 to court fees, the legal defense. That 8 is regardless of the outcome. And you said, okay, well, let me settle for 10 out of court, so because you don't know which way it's gonna go, and you're okay with that. That's only what that means. It just means that the case has been presented, your fees are presented, and this is where you could fall between in terms of cost, and then to possibly settle with the victim or with the person out of court, you could just do this, and then it will just all go away. Because then, if you settle, it only costing you maybe like 1 million for legal defense, and then the person gets the rest or whatever that may be. But at least you're still saving on the back end. That's really what that means. It doesn't mean that a person is guilty or because they choose to plead out that they are agreeing that they are guilty or something did happen. Now, at times things do happen, so I'm not trying to say nothing never happens, but that's just what pleading out means before there's a court case. So I wanted to clear that up just a little bit.
And before we even go any further, right? I want for the people listening to understand. Understand that you need to share the live. Please share the live and invite others to join the conversation. But what y'all need to understand, neither me, Neci, or 101.3 is taking any side in this. We want for the courts to decide, not the court of public opinion neither, the actual courts that get all the information, look it over, they have a jury of his peers and all of that. We want for them to decide, and if he is found guilty, to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. If he is innocent, we want him to be released, and any sort of justice that can be provided to him be provided to him. I want that to be out there first and foremost. Because not only do I have Shannon's side, I also have a very damning audio that Miss Gabriella's side released. Like, we're not playing no sides. I want to put that out first. And we had posted something on the page about how do you, as you've been working all this time to build yourself up, and you finally get up to a status where you're making millions, you're known everywhere. And how do you even avoid the allegations? Because like you said, it takes, all it takes is one allegation. It doesn't have to be proven true or anything for you to lose everything. And don't say we're making this up, because Mr. Jonathan Majors can attest, I'm sure, because he lost how much money and how many acting gigs and endorsements from an allegation
that was founded to be not true.
We watched the video, we saw it.
It was not true. And then there was no recourse for her making this false allegation against them, because I will counter swing for my money that I lose.
Might as well.
Because that is, I mean, as a woman, as a person who understands sexual assault, who understands the things victims go through, as a mom who has a daughter, I also have 2 sons. And I will definitely, lo and behold, need proof without a shadow of a doubt that my sons have committed such a heinous crime against a female. Because I know they were not raised that way. I did not raise them way. I have spoken to them, shown them videos, shown them clips, shown them what can happen. I have given them personal stories so they understand that it's not some far out of reach situation that can appear on their doorsteps. It can happen in your family, it can happen in your home, it can happen with your friends, and so on and so forth. So I want to be very clear too as well. Like, nothing I say is for or against her or him, but we're discussing what has happened and what's happening. And I want to be very clear minded that I have a daughter and I have sons. So I want my daughter to be heard, and I would want my sons to be heard as well. Because we can't pretend that some of these girls don't lie when the emotions get in the way and they can't have their way. But we also know that there are men out here who would actually go out and do these things. Hence why there's so much of this happening. And it still happens in our community where people are being assaulted as well.
And to anyone watching this, also, we'd like to interject. If you are being hurt, harmed, abused in any way, please tell someone, tell the authorities, go to someone you trust and let them know. What topic we on? We talking about the Shannon Sharpe allegations, Ramon. That's what we on right now. We talking about the Shannon Sharpe allegations. We're going to go into Shannon's actual statement. And then right after, they came out with a very damning audio. We're going to play the audio for you also. Hey, again, we're not saying who is, who isn't right. None of that. We're going to let the courts decide. So, statement by Lanny J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. This is some text messages that she received. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and blank me with it while you're blanking me. Gabriela Zuniga in a text message to Shannon Sharpe, October 7, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy blank. $25,000 for each cheek. So even then, she'll try and get our money missing. I ain't mad at her. This lawsuit, filed by Gabriela Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, this is now the statement, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter. It's important that word there, right? I had a struggle with consenting. I've come to realize that people struggle with the word consent. Listen, if somebody was to come up and ask you, what does consent mean? If you cannot answer that question there, cough. Handcuffs. You hear me? But anyway, we believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full and unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Ms. Zuniga's own explicit text messages that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegation she makes in her lawsuit, consensual sex continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25,000 per cheek. As quoted above from her text message to Mr. Sharpe, there are other examples of text from Ms. Zuniga. For example, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want. Then you can do whatever you want to me. Text from Gabriel Zuniga. I want to put my tongue in your blank and then marry you. That's my daddy, blank. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Ms. Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Ms. Zuniga. The edited tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of this editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the sexual activity was not consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all part of her planned setup as part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape. a copy of which he refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of grape, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law. Ramon says, oh, he a pure skunk. God knows why he didn't make me a female. I would have been an old watch more baby gravy. I ain't gonna lie, right? Them texts, they pretty much say what she wanted. They're telling like Shannon, bruh.
She want that baby, so she get a payment for life. She want that confirmed monthly payment. She all this walking she gotta be doing to get. She ain't in the mood. She want just get. The baby guarantees me my monthly allowance, like, you know.
She trying to charge you. Y'all in a relationship. She trying to charge you $25,000 per cheek.
So my question is, if I pay $25 for one cheek, does she need the other cheek at home?
I don't even know how you take that picture. Like what are we talking about?
Like how you separate the cheeks?
Shannon. One thing about Shannon, right? I'll say he's not sharp. Like you can't pick up on what she wants. You check what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real here. She was sick, like you're gonna be stuck with it for years after I get what I want. What more you need to hear?
She tired of the cat and mouse. She just want her one payment and she done.
But here's what I need clarification. Did he offer to settle for $10 million or was that hearsay? At this point?
So there was a conversation about settlements that I think they declined. I saw it. I think I saw it being discussed on the Breakfast Club. I don't know if it was actually true or not. But I just wanted to clarify what the settlement meant in terms of when there is a settlement. Usually it's just because your attorney calculates what the cost is on both sides and blah, 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 blah. And they give you an estimate of what that's going to be. And then you decide like, hey, let's settle so you can probably save on the back end versus what you might have to pay out if it doesn't go the way they anticipate it to go.
Now, the thing about Shannon Sharpe, he was warned. He was warned by his people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he didn't listen. Now, we've
all been warned. We all been like
that's what
you've warned me too, like Neci, like really, Neci, like
no, of course.
I warned you plenty. So we hear the warning, but sometimes things that just play out how it play. We're at the flesh. It's a weak vessel. Things happen. I ain't saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, we being real, we're being adults. Yeah. Like, we have the flesh. Things happen. You get a little phone call, hey, big head, or that why you like, hey. And then
I say that to say that doesn't mean because he was warned that he should receive any false allegations. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
Like nobody should get that. If this was in fact consensual, nobody deserves to be, for your career and your professional stuff to be, if it's false. Yeah, I don't listen. I won't pretend like I always listen to warnings either. But we got those videos too for you. So he was warned.
White women, I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that. And remember, I told you the drug story from when I'm in the park.
Yeah.
So these are just the things. I had all of those when I came in. I already was ready for that. That's what they don't like.
Yeah. So what
Bake
Kat's
good
referring
cakes.
to there
Make
is
some
Jonathan
smothered
Davis.
turkey wings. Who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay? And gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I don't.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, so he can't say nobody didn't tell him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's out there. It's out there. And he is 56 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I on board with listen, what I think people need to understand. Stop judging people based on your value system, right? What I came here to say basically today, we need to understand there are social contracts, there are legal contracts, and as Americans, as human beings, we form these contracts. As Americans, we form social contracts that says that 18 is an adult. There's also a legal contract that says 18 is an adult. Now, anything after that 18, that is a you thing. That's your value, right? And that's not what we're disputing here. We want the truth and for the courts to process what he's being charged for, not what is or isn't based on you as an individual. So there are people calling this man a PDF, right? Again, we agreed that 18 is an adult. Y'all need to be careful because there are slippery slopes, right? There's a slippery slope of calling somebody a PDF because he dealt with somebody that is 19. Oh, that's too close to being underage. Didn't we agree that 18 is an adult? So now you're taking consent and you're taking PDFs and you're blurring the lines now. If you decide that, if you don't think that 18 is old enough, then you need to write your congressman or something, because you can't say that I'm old enough to leave the house. You could kick your son or daughter out. You're an adult. It's 18. You can't say that I could join the military and sacrifice my life for my country, but I can't choose who I want to lay down with. I can't choose that I want a collar and crawl around. And how come I 18? I'm an adult, you know? So you're telling me that this OnlyFans creator is old enough to make money doing sexual content, but she is not old enough to decide that she want to have sex with an older man? That makes sense? Neci, what do you think? That's really what I wanted to say today, but what do you think?
Ooh, you feel better?
Yes, yes. Because I
could see you've been holding that one up. Yeah.
This slippery slope thing is dangerous.
It's a very slippery slope, and I agree. Like, if the age is a problem, morally for you, which I understand, but legally they're of age, then we need to change the legal limit since everyone consensually feels it is wrong, and we need to make steps to change it so that they can be more in line with what we feel is appropriate. But like you said, you can't tell me that I could, get a loan and get a car and I could go to fight war and I can get my own apartment and all those other things. And then when I choose to decide who I want to live with, that's when it becomes an issue. Now, does it feel wrong? It does feel wrong. Is it wrong? No, it feels wrong because of how it looks. So I definitely understand. Look, man, Cher man, what, 25? Is he 25 though?
I don't even know.
Cher was 70-something years old. Her man 20-something years old.
And Madonna, don't get me started on Madonna.
And Madonna on too, that's true. They man in their 20s.
And Madonna been forcibly kissing people for how long? But it's cool.
Yeah, is that wrong then? And because it has to be wrong across the board. It can't just be when we see fit. So Yeah, he 20. Yeah, I know. He 25. She like 70 something years old. If I could turn back time. Okay.
Madonna ain't been like a virgin for 50 years though. So please, please. Like, okay, you let us know in the comments. Like, are we off base here? Like, how do you decide that somebody is a PDF because they're too close to the line that we already agreed is the line? You don't say that, oh, their brain ain't properly developed enough to go ahead and go off to war. Ain't that a bigger choice?
Yeah, the age is just one of those things that I get it and I understand. I understand it. I understand it. As a person who was voluptuous at a very young age, I understand it. I've been approached by some people's daddies and uncles and so forth and so on. I ain't calling nobody name because y'all might follow with me today, but I'm just saying.
Oh.
But I was definitely underage. I was not of 18 years of age. Right? And then so that's one of those things. And then statewide, some of those states, you could still marry a 12-year-old once the parent agrees. Once the parent says it's okay for this old man to marry my 12-year-old and sign off, legally in some of these states, it's allowed. That's the kind of things we need to be fighting change for. Like, that shouldn't still be allowed. Not in 2025. So I just wanted to say, like, it does say that they met when she was 19, but I think they started a consensual relationship when she was 20. So technically, even though he met her at 19, it didn't start until she was 20. Now, based on, the investigators of social media, because, we have some investigators of social media. Once things happen, everybody's an expert, right? Her OnlyFans page was around when she met him. So she was already doing content at 19 on OnlyFans.
And she could have started at 18.
Because of her age, she is of age per OnlyFans requirements. And so she is of age that she can be on this website doing these content. Now, I'm not saying because she's doing this content means that she should be assaulted. I am not saying that. Please, no one misconstrue that I'm saying that. I am not saying because of the choice of how you choose to live your life and make your money or how you dress means that you should be assaulted. I will never say that or never agree with that.
We're not even implying it.
It was already in existence. But again, him at his good right 50 whatever age, he should be making better judgments. And I don't think necessarily the better judgment just simply means his age, because a lot of these women who are accusing a lot of these men in these situations, they're not all in their 20s. They're older, 30 years. So the age is not the reason for the allegations, because women who are older are making these allegations as well. And are on these quick, rich schemes as well. Yeah. Some of it is true. And it makes it harder for those women who truly were assaulted, who truly needs to be seen and heard and needs to be covered and loved and needs to be therapied and wielded back into a state that they can function and live and thrive. Those women, we really need to be giving them those spotlights to really put our arms around them and support them.
Ramon says, but the Hollywood industry been doing weirdo blank from the get-go. You think the freaky blank start with Diddy parties? No.
Honestly, it does not.
Honestly, the Diddy parties were access to other people with more money to go to and relieve that. Like, come on. But I don't hear anything about Leonardo DiCaprio and his 20-something-year-old girlfriends either. But
they talk about it. They don't drag him how they drag him, but like how they're doing Shannon right now.
Exactly. You've never had Leonardo DiCaprio get a on-air like intervention. You know what I'm saying? Legally, my son is an adult, but if a grown woman were to approach him, I think she was because legally is an adult. My son still has some growing to do mentally and emotionally to become a man. I agree with you. Does it feel icky to hear about a 56-year-old man dealing with a 19-year-old? Absolutely. Do I disagree with it? Yes. I don't even know what you would relate to with a 19-year-old. I don't know how those conversations would even go. But legally, the man has the right. And we need to stop taking the focus off of the age difference because he's facing some serious charges. If we were focusing more on the charges, then I wouldn't have nothing to say. But it seems like people are focusing on the age, which is like, that's not what he is even on trial for, whatever. Matter of fact, he's not even on trial. That's another thing. These are civil charges. This is for money. This is not criminal charges he's being filed under also. Keita says he isn't, but his moral code, people are questioning, unfortunately, since he has kids that are older than 19. Makes me wonder how his kids feel seeing this. Listen, ain't no kid trying to call somebody their age, their stepmom or nothing like that. It's like, be for real.
But it's not a serious relationship where they were going, that she was going to be the stepmother anyway. It seems to me like it's a sexual exchange, and I'm sure he's been compensating her for that exchange, right? And again, it's a moral thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't like it. Yes, he has kids that are older. It sounds morally, it's just, but it's not like he's bringing her home and they're building a relationship and they're going to be, he's not doing that. It's a sexual exchange based on her profession that she has, right? And that's what they've been doing. Now, again, that does not mean, she deserves to be assaulted. I just want to repeat that for someone who might have missed it before. It doesn't mean that.
Oh, Keita is wilding in the comments. Keita said, I think we all focusing on it like it was a relationship, but if we being real, this was just prostitution with extra steps. Yeah, keep in mind, she does court. Like, I mean, that's what I don't understand. Like, she's old enough to do that and get paid for it. But the idea of her sleeping with an older man is too far. Ramon says, this is not me. This is not 1013. This is not Neci saying it. At the time of his death, I think Paul Walker was in a relationship with a 16-year-old girl. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't hear those.
At the time, there was no truth to that speculation. There was a speculation, but there was never any truth that came out of it. As the last I heard of it is that I haven't followed up since then.
Correct. I agree that he shouldn't focus on age. I think the focus should be on evidence. If he really correct.
Agreed.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about all these things that ain't even the reason why is like in this predicament. You know what I'm saying? Like we losing the plot. Now here's something that it happened around the same time the Shannon thing came out, right? And I was shocked that I haven't seen anybody talking about it. You might have. Let me know. But listen to this.
I wasn't the girl that ever went to prom. Like, my boyfriend was 30 when I was in high school. I know my mother was crazy, but you know what? I would never ever I mean that in a good way. Like, she was an artist. She was like, well, if that's who you love, baby. And he was so good to me and kind and like.
You hear the laughs, the giggles, and all of that after 30. He didn't take you to prom because he was ashamed, girl. Me along, baby girl. There's only one thing I gotta say to you.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
You're a victim. Like 30 years old, and you see how the laughs and the giggles and all of that there, and she talking about her mother allowed it, and he was so sweet too.
Because it was, again, there was a different norm then than there is now. And I think Nia was a child. She was a childhood actor from a teenager, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember anything as a child.
Not a child, like a teenager, like she said in high school. Like, I think she started acting in roles in high school. I might be wrong. But again, it is wrong because you're in high school. What are you doing with a 30-year-old? Why is he watching you? I know your mom agrees. So it's like, it's not right. That is absolutely wrong on all the levels because you're not of age. And your mom shouldn't be approving of that.
Exactly.
But we also know that these things were normal things. It wasn't right. It doesn't mean it was right. but it was unfortunately the norm that used to happen back then. And that was very sad.
Now, she doesn't even know that she was a victim, you know. When you're
She
under
knows that now.
the way they're talking about it and laughing.
So there's more context to the clip, right? I don't agree that they were laughing, but she talked about it seriously before, where she understood later on what it was and what it meant and the situation around it. But she didn't understand it in that age. And I could say that for myself. Like,
oh no, we wouldn't expect us to.
But what I'm saying to you is, when I was a teenager, right? There was a lot of older men that approached me to date me or want to be in relationships with me and so forth. But something about it just felt wrong to me. I didn't know I don't know why it was wrong to me. It just didn't feel right to me. Okay. No, I wasn't explained to me that, oh, it's because he's an adult or he's preying on you, or it wasn't I did not have any of that information to have made that decision. I just felt like this, like, why would you want to talk to me when I'm in school?
Yeah.
You know, like, why me? Like, you could talk to someone, like, you know, like, I didn't know what the words were and I didn't know what the reasons were. It just felt a certain way to me. So I understand, like, sometimes, especially if you don't know, or that's all you've seen and you continue to see, you think that is just the normal way of things. Unfortunately.
So what I would like to say, even though it may have been the norm, even then, the age thing was still probably the same. Like, it was still illegal. All right.
No, I agree with you.
She right because I remember them has man parked across from complex every day after school. This been going on. It definitely has. Like, everybody I know had a crush that used to get picked up by a big man. Everybody I know. Every man I know had a crush that was picked up by a big grown man. And that's emotional damage on another level, to know that you can't fast forward your age to be old enough for your crush. Until Hollywood stops pretending like Tom Cruise and Tom Brady are champions, I can't really take any of the stories from it more than the General Hospital of our times.
What? What?
Exactly. Every single man has that story. You like a girl, you talk to she, oh, I don't date people my age or stuff like that. And it's like, your age? What do you mean? All right. But there's more. So a very damning audio tape has been released. And I went back and I censored it. So I'm letting you know now. If this may trigger you, this is your chance to go ahead and exit the live and come back after, because the language is very graphic. I'm going to play it for you right now.
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick now, so.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Ooh, boy. I don't think you have a choice in the matter. He couldn't have chosen more wrong words than that. What do you think about that?
It's honestly, the audio just sounds a little sketchy. How it's done, like, you know, and again, he should know better. He should have done better.
Another thing, right? It's very clear that they had a relationship that was heavy with the BDSM and the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, are you really kind of like cutting and slicing and editing stuff together? You know what I mean? Like, is this a game I or playing? You know what I mean?
And then she only released 10 seconds of the audio, right? So I think it was like 10 seconds. So my thing is, you didn't start recording at that point.
Exactly.
Where is the before audio and the after audio of that conversation? Because you could have said, you know, like, hey, let's role play on the phone, whatever, like no matter what, because that's if you're not into what it is, you don't understand the depths of the conversation that happens in that realm of things. So a normal everyday person, it sounds like, oh my god, like he got shot. But to somebody who work like this, women who are saying like who does do that with they have clients who does do that, like that's a normal conversation. Like that's not anything out of the way. That's just a normal, like, you know, some people just want to hear it on the phone if they can't see you in the moment. And there's different things to it. So there's levels to this thing. And we don't know what level he playing on.
Exactly.
But clearly he just needs to be benched because he don't know the rules of the game he's playing anyway.
Let me read some of the comments. Chivane says, I hate how dumb he sounds.
Exactly.
Shannon is not Sharpe.
He does. Sharpe is really his last name. He can't change it, but really Sharpe or something at this point.
I mean, honestly, has Shannon Sharpe ever sounded intelligent? Like, let's be honest.
Yes, he does. Don't say that.
On his interviews, them, right? And this ain't no hate. Like on his interviews, them, he's always played up the country bumpkin. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the, like, this ain't nothing new to me. I feel like that's just Shannon Sharpe. Kita says it low key sound like manipulation or something. Golly gosh, you think so? I think there was more. I would have liked to hear what happened before that even led it down that road, because to start it there, you know what I'm saying? Some seem off to me personally. What going on? Yeah, we talking about the Shannon Sharpe allegations. I don't know if you heard the audio tape, but yeah, that tape, oof.
Because I would have done like a Justin Trimboli with Blake Led, how he dropped the whole clip.
Mm-hmm.
Like he dropped the whole, like don't he dropped the whole clip.
Don't edit nothing, just post it.
Yeah, he just dropped. I would have dropped the whole thing. Now, are you saving it maybe to win your case? Because to me, if I drop the whole clip that shows that you are manipulating me, you are whatever, I am more likely guaranteed to get my cut of the money that I want than having to drag it on in trial. Because I don't want to go stand on nobody trying to swear in and have to answer both people's questions. Like, if I have the proof, without a shadow of a doubt, this happened to me, you've been using me and manipulating me and so on and so forth, and it will more guarantee me to get an outcome that I want without having to go to trial, I would do that, because no victim really wants to go to trial and have to relive their trauma. That's one of the things victims dread the most, which is why they don't come forward, is having to relive their trauma in front of their accuser, and then also having that used against them in a negative way from the defense attorneys. You know, that make it look like you asked for it or you wanted it, or even if I did ask for it and you took it too far and I told you to stop, once I say stop, it's stop. No is no. It's done, it's over. Like, that's one of those things. So I don't see why she would want to intentionally go to trial if she has proof that I can just get what I'm asking for up front and be over with it.
Now, keep in mind, people listening, that could be a reason why a victim would choose to just settle, to not have to go through a long, drawn-out trial and relive that every day. And it's draining, it's exhausting. I'd imagine that, like, it's triggering every single day of the trial, and those things could last for years. Like, there was a lot of people that did not believe Cassie, you know, because she tried to settle out of court. Like, they said that she just wanted money until that video came out and nobody could deny. Yeah, he whatever she said he did that. Mm-hmm. So let's keep that in mind. Yeah. Ramon said that recording sounds doctored because there was different background noise when she spoke and when he spoke. I'm no audio analyst, but it sounds doctored. Play it again and check what I say. We're gonna run it back one more time.
I say you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Ramon really got me like, what? Listening for background songs and things like investigating and sing for real. You let us know what you think. Cynthia says it sounds abusive. That's the thing about BDSM and stuff like with kinks and stuff. It can sound abusive, but the difference, right, between what makes these plays abuse is consent. Just because, listen, I ain't want nobody spit in my mouth, but are you out here spitting in mouth and thing? You're doing it. To me, that sounds crazy, but I will never judge your right to do that. That's your kink, that's your thing. It get my sucking toes and it get people want to be tied up, handcuffed, all these things. The difference is consent. If that's what you want to do as an adult, but yeah, that's the thing though. It sounds abusive. So that could work either way. Like you could have chopped and screwed that thing because it sounds abusive, but it really could have been before that. She could have been saying what she wants, and I want this, that, and third, and we don't know. I think even in listening to the conversation, you got to remember this is an employer-employee relationship. Are we talking about because he the pay for it? Is that what we talking about? Well, goes to show Shannon old self probably doesn't know tech, and this girl said, "I'ma just chop this up and play you." You keep in mind too, how many conversations have you said, "Let me record this"? But what you were saying, Neci? You were gonna say something. It looked like.
No, it wasn't. I was just reading the comments. I was just like.
Jeremy said this man couldn't pay me to walk with him and make decisions. He couldn't pay you to be his lawyer? Playing with Young Snow. Well, I saw that he'd been dealing with this since 2023. Yeah, and he stayed. He didn't end it either. Now, Shannon Rass didn't say nada. Old people love deleted everything like it still doesn't exist somewhere else. Now, it's an interesting convo about consent. That the thing is, the conversation about consent should be short.
To the point.
Should it? Like, why we need to have a conversation?
To the point.
Either if you want something, say yes. If you don't, say no. But listen, the only way the line could get blurred is there are things like non-consensual consent. I don't know if y'all have heard of those things. Go look up what non-consensual consent is, people, because that's a kink. From what I understand, she didn't consent to a certain kind of sex, and he did it. Are you saying that? Okay.
In terms of what she's accusing him of,
he didn't consent to that form. Okay. Hey, if you have that information, send it to it. Shivane said they need to get the original files to an expert. They can look at digital markers to discover if audio, videos, photos are altered. Now, the thing, glad we got legal counsel on board. Shivane, if you're doing a civil case, right? Doing all of this where you have experts and all of this stuff, like I would think in a criminal case, like that would just kind of be a part of gathering evidence of discovery. But in a civil case, like, do they have to allow for time? Like, how does that work in a civil case? Do they need to go out and look for it? Because there are certain things that is a part of discovery and both sides need to be given up and all of that. Does it work the same?
Wait, any evidence that's being presented against and has to be shared with both sides. And
that's for civil and criminal?
You got to share evidence.
Wait,
hence why Shannon's team asked for the file of the video that she has that they don't want to turn over to them. Because it's your job to get it examined by an expert. as well as the other team's job to get. You can have two different experts review your evidence, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth.
Wait, I just catch on. Neci hair flowing. She got a glow. Go on, Neci. Them I say, you hear it? You get a fan out, or it's just that type of day? What going on? You hear over here flowing like it's a Vidal Sassoon commercial. What going on? I say you glowing.
Good skin. I got good skin.
Okay. My cousin used to work in an adult store, and he told me stories about the kink some people have. People be into some different stuff. They do.
Very.
They do. And there are a lot. Listen, if you want to get, the collar and walk like a dog, do it. You're an adult.
And the person willing to do it with you, I had that woman that be walking them on the sidewalk in the streets in Florida, okay? Like dogs. So clearly, we've been seeing them more often than not.
And you'd be surprised. It's usually them man high in power, and you know what I'm saying? It'll usually be them getting walked like dogs, literally out in the street with the mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be so quick to judge. I gonna laugh though. If I see anybody out in the street, you bring your child out with the book bag with a leash, I gonna laugh.
Now, what I want to say too, though, is one of the things I think that's working against her, unfortunately, is her attorney, because he's been known for doing sketchy stuff in cases that doesn't work in his favor. So the type of attorney that she selected has definitely been casting a shadow over her case, and not in a good way. And I would hope that, I don't know why she went to him particularly or who encouraged her to, but my thought is that you need someone who can be on your side without a shadow of a doubt that this happened to you. You can prove it, and they're going to go out their way. Because if at any point any of this looks like it's been doctored or altered in whatever way, that's case for dismissal. And it doesn't work in your favor either. So it's like, her attorney is definitely an issue for me, in terms of what she's accusing him of. And I think that might be a negative against her. Hopefully, if what happened to her did happen, it doesn't. But I don't think that was a good choice.
Personally, I think Shannon should have settled and kept this out of the public. I mean, the man...
They did. They tried to, and the other team said no. So.
Yeah. Now, I want to circle back to what you said in a little bit after I read these comments. Ramon says some women have grape fantasies. Not saying this relates to this case, but it's not far-fetched that they were role-playing and she spun the narrative. That's what we're saying. It's a thing. Matter of fact, I did a whole Freaky Friday episode on non-consensual consent. That's what it is, and it's actually more common than you think. But if Shannon is guilty, he needs to be held accountable. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So you had mentioned something as far as you had just mentioned something. I want to circle back because I seen that there is a narrative that the lawyer has a history of going after black men in high positions. That's in his background. Now, I've seen somebody post something that's going around saying that let me be careful. There is no agenda going after black men for their free will and the decisions that they make, something like that there, right? That we need to be careful with the things that we say, because sometimes we say things and it's not true, or you could be feeding into white supremacy. There has for a long time been an agenda to where the black people as a whole, they didn't want us to have free will. There's been an agenda to where black men, black women have been fetishized, used and abused by Caucasian people. There's a history of black men being lynched, literally lynched, and lied on by white women. So when we say things like that, Like, we need to be careful. We're not feeding into white supremacist agendas. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can't just crucify somebody just because you don't like what he's doing in his bedroom or how old the girl is or stuff like that. Then, or you don't like interracial dating, so he should have learned. He should have been with a black woman. Like, we need to be careful with those things. Those tropes, you may be feeding into white supremacist lies. To say that there's no agenda against black people or black men, period, like, even starting there, you're already risking, like, lying. Peter says, or maybe that was her plan all along because she knew the type of things he was into. Or she could have very well be the one to introduce it to him. We don't know. I would say Shannon should date within more of his age group. Him dating 19-year-olds is not a good look for him. We had discussed that. But again, that's your value. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he want to date them, he can. But he may be risking something like this again. And that's his money, you know. What you want to do with it, that's him. If it's legal, that's what I concerned about. Renee said every era has an attorney that does this, nothing new. His writing is insanely sloppy. Both Diddy and Shannon let their egos take them where their legal representation did not go. True. And I mean, Diddy tried to settle like expeditiously. Like 24 hours later, he was trying to settle. But it was too late.
It wasn't too late. He did settle. But Cassie was not the one that leaked that video.
Somebody else did.
Cassie actually, I think Cassie's team actually made a statement like they're very hurt that was actually leaked. Like she didn't. Really? That's not something she want. Yeah, she did not want that. Yes. So it's one of those things where, like, while she know what happened or whatever the case may be, she didn't want that publicly out there. Why would I want to see the video of myself being dragged through a hotel floor leaked by me? That is not, the video had not looked traumatized me. I thought it was a movie. Not like a real, like that is scary. And I know that would, she has kids and kids have parents who's going to talk about it and come back to this. Oh, I saw your video, your mommy getting dragged down that's, I could see that's where her mind was going about the concept, but I don't want those things in the light. So, but somebody else, there's always somebody willing to take a dollar to get. Somebody took a good payout for that video to post it. So there's people like that in the world.
Ramon says race has nothing to do with my stance because many black women have falsely accused black men of SA. I just feel like he should have known better, man. How many times we gonna gotta watch this same movie? But that returns me back to the question: how does anyone, yet alone a black man, prevent a false or any allegations? When you say that you should have known better, right? The only way that I could think of that you could even cut this all off is record yourself 24/7. Because like just recently in Georgia, there was a white woman accused this man of trying to kidnap her son.
Oh my God.
It was all on camera in Walmart. And he went to jail and everything, and then they started investigating.
The woman in the wheelchair?
Yes. Yes.
Did you not see how she rolled over her child with the wheelchair in Walmart too? So somebody had to try to help pull the child from under the wheel?
But he's the danger. He's the one that ended up locked up though.
And my thing is that man, he didn't even look like he tugged on that child. It looked like the child it just, from the back you can't see, but the way he briefly just touched the child, he almost looked like the child was maybe falling, and he kind of and he kept walking away.
And that's
stopping and went to check out.
That's what came up later.
I kidnap a child. Are you going to keep shopping and check out?
But
I'm going to leave the store.
That's what came out later, that the child was about to fall, and he literally caught the child and like right there and left.
No, I know
So
they're mentally deranged people that walks around, but to try to kidnap a child, and that wasn't even a good attempt if you ask me. Not saying that he should have made a better attempt, or anyone should make a better attempt at kidnapping children. Just going based on the video, and I continued to walk in the aisle very slowly. He wasn't trying to walk fast, escape, get away, continue shopping, had checked out, said, and all of that, and then you said that he was trying to take your child? And then you continue to shop in the store with your child as well, check out of all of that, and then I would have been screaming at the top of my lungs right there, and we won't go nowhere.
what? Oh wow.
And then she was in a wheelchair, she didn't need it. She said the kids just wanted to ride around in it.
So she shouldn't have even been in there. It should have been saved for somebody who's actually in need of it. But whatever. It's cool though, right? So now Darren says, legal doesn't mean ethical. Please, in this context, please expound on that, sir. Because what is the code of ethics?
Ethics means moral, not ethical.
I'm about to say, what is the code of ethics for sleeping with an adult in your bedroom? What's the code of ethics and where is it? And then when it comes to morals, right? What's the standard? That's what we said before you came in. You weren't here, I don't think. But your values, your standards are your own. People are judging this man and what all this stuff coming out. We're judging based on our own values and standards. He has that's his own values and standards. Once it's legal, whose morals are we judging him by? Because there is no consensus of what you can or cannot do in the bedroom with an adult person that consents.
And the people are saying that, oh, he should have been doing it with someone else. Like, my thing is, which he did, he found someone, I guess, that shared the same interest that he has sexually, right? And they've been doing it for 4 years. Why am I going to find somebody else when I already have a person that I find that I can do this with? Because I know I'm a public figure. I don't want to be out here doing it with every and anybody. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I might just have sex with someone else, but the things that I'm into when I want to do that, I have a person to do those things with. Now, to me, she should have been under a contractual obligation in terms of what we're doing, what we're not doing. And we can't discuss this for 15, 20 years, whatever. I don't care if you talk about it when I'm 75 and I'm no longer interested in doing those things. I don't care. That's when you want to come and speak your mind. Great. I'm about to die. I go. But I think this she should have been under contractual obligation where this is what we're doing and this is how long we can talk. You know, that your NDAs, get an NDA in place. Yeah. Yes, NDAs expire, but you could put really long terms in NDAs. She would have had a long-term NDA in terms of even after it's ended, you can't speak on this for 10 years or whatever the time frame is. You can't speak about what we were doing. Like, that's the point of those things. And you're too big of a public figure to not have those things done. That's what you have legal people for. That's sometimes, yes, you don't want people in your business, but as a public figure, this is hey, I'm talking to this girl, she's kind of young. I don't want to get into what you're doing with her, but hey, what do you think I need to do in place with this girl if I want to continue with, that's what you have your legal team for them to advise you on these things, to put things in place to protect you and your image and your brand, not after the fact when these things come out. Now, yes, again, not everybody wants what they're doing in their bedroom publicized it for other people to know. But when you're a public figure, you have an attorney and a retainer for a reason. Let them counsel you. That's what they're there for. Let them protect you.
This is 50 Shades of Shannon.
Man, he only got one shade and he's really dull at this point.
All right, let's get into what Darren talking about. Legal doesn't mean ethical. I would say ego or arrogance can be anybody's downfall. Sometimes our strength can be our greatest weakness. That's correct. But now, as far as legal, ethical, and moral, what you're doing with a consenting adult, how does ego, arrogance, and picking who you're going to sleep with, how does that coincide? That's what I'm getting at. Like, we're saying it's easy to say be careful who you choose and all of this other stuff, but we as human beings, to say that we're gonna be 100% right about who we gonna deal with, that's damn near impossible. Now imagine having the money and the access to all these other people that we regulars would never meet. Like, let's keep it real here. Y'all gotta think about the level of access that a person that's about to sign $100 million deal has. Y'all be thinking about things on this like minute. I work for this company and I see this amount of people. Like, think about it at the level of him. Like, when he goes anywhere, people know him already. He doesn't have to introduce himself. Think about that. Example, there are some states that you can marry someone under the age of 18. So there are places where 36 can marry a 16-year-old.
Darren, you joined kind of late. We don't discuss all of this. No, I mean, he's not saying the wrong thing. It's just that we did discuss those things. Like, yeah, that's the kind of cases you should be fighting your state about being able to marry underage children because the parents give consent. The parents might be the one assaulting me too. My parents can just consent for somebody else to continue to assault me. Like, that's not where it's okay. Like, that's the kind of things you should be fighting. If the 18 or 19-year-old if 18 is too young to consider adult, change the legal age. But if you change the age, you got to push it back for everything else. Exactly. For going to war, for being able to own certain things. And, that all has to be pushed too. And the economy won't allow you to do that.
And we have to agree on it. Like, if they put it on a ballot or something, we have to agree on these things. Like, that's what I'm saying. That moral, ethical line and stuff, when you're dealing with people, it gets blurred. You know what I mean? Like, it gets very blurry. Ramon says, look at the timing of Diddy leaked footage. Him and Cassie been over for at least 10 years. Why that footage came out now? They've been holding that in the stash.
Someone was holding in.
Someone was. Diddy is a perfect example of that. He thought he was more powerful than the machine. They had to remind him who the big dog then be. Now, after seeing certain videos, I get where he coming from with this. But what you were going to say?
I was going to say they did the same thing to Bill Cosby as well.
True. So when you say things like there's no agenda against black men and their free will and the decisions that they make, is that true? Is that based in fact? Because there are too many examples to the contrary of that. You get what I'm saying? Like, things to consider as well with age differences is being able to relate to each other, cultural and generational differences and control. Again, we don't need to consider that at all. The people in them relationships do. Because we had said, like, I couldn't be with nobody that young. I'm sure Neci could not even think about being with somebody that young, but he did. And again, Shannon does not seem like intellectually on a. I'm serious. The man don't seem like he is. Have you seen an interview with this man?
I disagree with you because of where he is and where he's doing and what he's doing and stuff. Like, there has to be something to it. Now, does he always sound like he's smart? No, I do agree. He don't always sound like he's smart, but there's something to it.
For you to be 56 and to be going back and forth with a 19-year-old and in a relationship, you have to meet them where they are mentally. And then in the clip with Monique and them there, where he was adamant he ain't gonna stop dealing with 20-somethings. Like, you have to meet them where they are. I've seen little clips and stuff, interviews with this man, and this man don't, like, the last word I would use for him is intelligent. I'm sorry. He may have taken too many hits to the head. I don't know, but he don't come off as intelligent to me.
Okay, and that's fine.
We can say a video was in the stash, but the problem is there shouldn't have been something in the stash. Correct. In the stash to begin with. Diddy is dealing with his comment for being a terror for years. I don't feel sorry for him, to be honest. No, because there's been stories from Diddy. He just never got prosecuted before.
Because back then, those things were not things people prosecuted you for.
I know, say he talks as if he had sense. He did an interview with Donald Rollins, and he bashed Donald for dealing with a 23-year-old, but he messing with a 19. He did it. Stop playing. I don't watch his interview. He did it.
The cat calling the kettle black. You know?
Wow.
Like if
Damn. It is absolutely true, but about there being an agenda against black men, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Matt Lauer, all Caucasian men who are part of the elite. How dare they dirt just fade away like that? Damn. I didn't know that.
Kevin Spacey's dirt ain't fade away. He can't work in the industry. He doesn't even work in the industry.
Did he go to
Like,
jail though?
I'm sorry?
Did he go to jail though?
I don't know what happened with his case at all.
See? I think that's what you're talking about, but it fade away because
I think his case settled.
it settled.
Yeah, so there's a difference though. When people settle, like you settle. Some people do settle. Like you said, they don't want to go to court and deal with the whole thing all over again. Whatever the case may be, sometimes they settle.
I understand why women say when older men date younger women to escape accountability. My issue is it's a double standard. That never seems to play out the opposite way, and I don't understand it. I don't like double standards. I don't like hypocrisy, because how is it that when men do it, it's wrong, it's this, that, or the third, and he dodging us, he want to control people, but when a woman says it, they clap. I don't get that. But now, Mr. Man, my statement is found here, and this is the truth. So Shannon Sharpe ended up taking a screenshot of the statement he was supposed to put out himself. My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am elected to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I've received from my family, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe. Dang. Now the man had to step down before anything got resolved, or he get, you know what I'm saying? He don't have to step down. He was on path to be 100 millionaire plus. Have a podcast that's blowing up. Number one this, number one that.
He still did his night watch with Ocho Cinco. They did do that because they were covering the draft. So I did see that they were doing that.
Ramon says he definitely did make comments on Donna Rollins about having a young baby mother. She definitely older than 19 though, so the hypocrisy is astounding. That's crazy.
So a young baby mother, not okay.
That's even anyway. I really can't relate because I date older women.
Do you? I just messing with that.
When I think it's because men are seen with the ability to control. If you, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. So an older woman versus a younger dude, she wouldn't have the ability to control and manipulate same way. And then posted a screenshot of a text, copy paste, Shannon Wild. This one. Somebody is sharp. He had an episode last night. He's still going. So he had to come off of ESPN. I don't know if they're still paying.
He's still doing his night watch with Ocho Cinco.
Thing. And he still got Club Shay, I'm assuming. Because that's his thing, right? I'm assuming. Yeah, so that's where we are, man. The man had to step down and, he got to deal with this thing. He was winning. And now we're going to find out. We're going to find out sooner or later.
And the next episode, we'll find out.
We can only hope.
Right. Now, can we move on? It's been kind of heavy.
Of course.
Need a little light. Need a little.
Okay. I can lighten it up. I got some stuff. Let me see. All right. Let's lighten it up. I got plenty of stuff. Let's go.
How come men say they want a woman with their together, but then when they get that, they get intimidated and leave for a lesser value woman?
Have you ever met a rich, lame?
Yes.
Several.
Many of them. Several.
Right. So
know where he's going.
so having money doesn't disqualify a man from being lame, right?
Right. No. It
Okay, right. Having success doesn't disqualify a woman from being a terrible partner.
That's also true.
A non-listener, someone that makes it hard that doesn't know how to be present in a relationship. When you say lesser, right, you may be, to your point, describing somebody that doesn't make as much money as you. But maybe in that relationship, he feels heard, seen, valued. And what I'm saying is, with you have to ask yourself, if you are choosing men that you look up to, men that you feel like in their own right are pillars of the community, that have a great voice and discernment. And if you keep finding that these men are saying to you, hey, there's some things that maybe you can correct over here, and you keep excusing that, then now you're not making those improvements. Now, I'm not saying that that's you, but there's many women in here that are scapegoating the fact that they keep running away from men to your success, when it really might be your character.
Hey, I hear this all the time, that men are intimidated by women with their stuff together. The thing about it that I have noticed, right? Okay, let me start here. Men study women. We pay attention to what women overall like, dislike, and whatnot, because we want sex, right? And y'all hold the keys and access to sex. So in order to get there, we need to figure you out. The reverse is not true, because women get bothered and bugged all day. You could leave out, have your hair in a bonnet, you could dress in a white tee that got stains and everything, go to the gas station, you're gonna get approached. Men don't have that, right? So you're probably tired of men by the time you leave the house. We still want women, and we have to learn them and operate in a way that they like in order to either attract them or get them, right? So when you say women that men are intimidated by women with their stuff together, most men are not. The thing is, there's a personality type that usually goes along with women that declare they have their stuff together. And also, when you ask them stuff like, what do you bring to the table? A man is asking a question related to who you are as a partner. Women here, I got my degree, I got my own house, my own car, but those things that you're listing are things that would attract a woman. When a woman is looking for a man, she wants a guy that has his stuff together like that. A man ain't worried about them things. But because women do not study what men like, all they know is what they like, so they'll pitch that to you. And all the dude is hearing, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't want no boss chick. I want a woman that I could talk to, relate to. She has a good personality, good sense of humor. Like, I want a woman that's caring, loving, nurturing. And you telling me about your degree and the money that you're making that I probably can't get a hold of? Why should I care about that? Let me go to the comments. You I don't know what, you said nothing.
You on a rant, and I was letting you have it, you know?
No, there ain't no rant. I'm telling you, I've been paying attention to this thing. Most men are not intimidated. It's just that personality type of I'm a boss bee and this, that, and the third. It ends up being competition. It ends up being a woman with a personality type that you can't talk to or get along with. A lot of the time, those women are not agreeable. Like, a lot of them are insufferable. It's the personality is the issue, not whether you got your stuff together. I'm intimidated. I don't like your attitude. Ramon says, let me tell you the difference between men and women. You will never know about a man's side piece, but your woman with how you chilling, smoking with her side piece and you own. Women do cheat better. I can't even dispute that. Women do cheat better, though. Ain't no argument for me. Diane says, I think sometimes with women who are highly accomplished have a tendency to demean men for lesser and call it intimidation. That's what I'm saying. Like the attitude, the personality type. And that's what it is. And a man will tell a woman, I don't like your attitude, right? And what they'll come back with, you're intimidated. Ma'am, you're insufferable. I hate being around you. I dislike you. Oh, you hate women. I'm talking about you. Like, I'm talking about just you today, right now.
Are you getting a flashback? You okay?
Anyway, don't ask me who hurt me, neither. There are some truth to men being intimidated to it. Here we go. There are some truth to men being intimidated to women being more successful.
Of course, there's truth.
There's men that are. There really are men that are. I'm saying overall.
Majority of the men are not, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A man not tolerating disrespect is now considered intimidating. F out of here. But I think it can be a crutch for women to say men are intimidated to escape internal accountability. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to admit that you might be unlikable. So you turn it back around on me that I'm intimidated. After I don't tell you, I don't like you. Hey, don't say that word accountability. It gives them high blood pressure. They laughing at you. They're laughing at you, clowning me. The flashback was real.
I mean, I could see he's having a moment. It triggered him. And I'm being a good friend. I'm letting him get it out. I'm letting him vent, you know.
You do a poll to know this? Hey, you know what? Ain't nothing for me to do a poll. I will. I'll do one tomorrow. I hope you follow and see a difference. So, Neci, you are a woman with her stuff together. Please, tell me what's been your experience.
My experience has been exactly that. But, and in terms of dating, relationships, not necessarily. But I do find that what I find, because I want to be like, I'm in St. Croix, Cruiser man, whatever. They if they one actually told me, like, I don't ask for anything in terms of money after finding out what it is. And I was like, what does me asking for money have to do with us? And he's like, he don't know what to do with a woman who don't need to ask you for nothing. And I thought that was an interesting perspective from him. Now, I've never been accused of being insufferable. So if I have, I've never been told. And I've also never been told, like, you know, I don't hold myself accountable, because I'd be the first one to be like, I'd be like, hey, this is a two-way. I know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. Don't act like you don't know what we're doing.
But you don't have that personality type, though.
But I don't. So again, of course, anything that's being said there's truth to it. It's not 100% true to anyone's scenario. I don't have a problem with you telling me, like, hey, this is ABC. Because when I agree to ABC, don't come back and ask me up to DGIF. Like, that have nothing to do with me. We didn't talk about DEFGHIJK. Why are you over there in LMNOP? I still at ABC.
But okay, even in your example, right? Even in your example, it more showed that he's used to women that need him, right?
I find most men are accustomed to being needed, specifically financially or dependent on financially, to support their partner. And I don't know, I'm not saying that it's an excuse or a buffer that they don't get to deal with the other things. But for me, I'm looking at the other things. And I'm not saying that I don't need a partner that I'm not dependent on financially. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. That's not my priority. Because the high success I have today could be shaking a cup with a GoFundMe tomorrow. That life to come around real quick for people. And I don't like, I have an open mind where I know what I have now, but I don't know what I will have tomorrow. And that's just like the ladder goes up, the ladder comes down. So I can expect my partner to be like, I think we discussed this before when the girl was like, 30 days, if a man loses her job, 30 days and the relationship is over. Like, you know what it's do for like 4 years, and because he loses his job, you've done it in 30 years. You was never really invested in the relationship to begin with. If it only takes 30 days for you to end it because he lost his job, you know what I mean? So I look at the other parameters. I look at who you are as a person. I look at what type of person that you are. I look at how you speak, how you deal with yourself, how you deal with your children. I look at the way that we communicate. I look at how we invest in each other. There's things that I'm looking at and be like, hey, you text me and I text you. Don't be like, oh, like I be antisocial. No, we're being antisocial. Because you're not really into me the way we're not into each other.
Can't tell if that's me. Is Neci frozen or am I frozen? I can't tell. I can't tell if it's me or her. All right. You back?
My iPhone is trash. I was on my iPhone for this life and it's trash. The thing just turned off just now. iPhone garbage. My Samsung would never do me so. Ever.
Hey! Terrence says, I've dated a wide range of women. I've dated women who have made more than me and many that I have made more than. Those combos never came up and I never cared. Honestly, who you pick makes a difference. Like,
absolutely.
Like, women who got their stuff together do not ask for money. So it's clear that he was used to a certain type of woman. A woman that got his stuff together, they don't have those problems. Like when our community is having those conversations about 50-50 and who gonna pay the bill, like, look at you and who you're attracting or who you're dealing with. Because when you see that there are men who, like, I've never had a woman pay for a drink or pay for a date, you may need to reconsider who you're dating.
Absolutely. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy walk to me.
Money has never been a part of my dating experience. Ramon says, I commented on a video a while back where this woman sneak up behind her husband and start dry humping him. I say my ex did that once, and on reflex, I almost on her. I was then told I beat women. I don't like black women. I need to come out the closet. I mean, they was dragging my ass. Yeah, you should have saved that story there. You should have put that one.
Wow.
I think some men like to have control. So if the woman don't need them financially, they might see that as an issue because he won't be able to control her. There are absolutely,
and that's true. Yeah.
Absolutely men that try to control women with money, right?
Absolutely.
Men like that, for sure. Now, what I'm referring to, right, is the personality type that leads with what they have.
Yes.
Right? And here is why I think the overall issue is. We need to learn how to communicate like the other person. We need to stop trying to communicate in our language and communicate in a way that the other person we're talking to can. And I think men and women don't, like, often men and women overall do not communicate the same, right? Men are more direct, women are more like indirect and stuff like that, and stuff that you do or say or nonverbal can make a difference. So we need to learn how to communicate with each other, because there's the what do you bring to the table thing. Technically, that's not a bad question, right?
A house with its own table in it. How much chairs you got? I got 8. How much chairs your table have? Mine is mahogany wood. What quality wood you have on your table? When did you buy it? Is it a long-term investment? Is it plywood? Is it real wood? What is it? Is it wood at all? Is it metal? Is it chipping? Is it glass shattered? Is it still intact? Is it a family heirloom? Like, oh, sorry, my bad.
So go back and check the post we made about why saying you are the table is a terrible response.
Exactly.
That's a terrible response.
That was
but that question, it's not technically wrong. I think we need to stop it. However, what the man is asking is what kind of partner you would make.
And why not just ask that? Why are we asking about a hypothetical table?
That's what I'm saying.
Why not just ask that question?
We need to do away with that question altogether, because you need to get to learn the person and see for yourself, quite frankly. However, the man will ask that meaning something else, and then the woman will hear that and respond based on, well, like it's insulting, like you're asking me myself, and come back with this resume. She's answering a different question than you asked. So again, do away with them kind of thing, because the dating process, you're supposed to be getting to learn each other anyway. So stop
Yes.
trying to be lazy and asking stupidness like that anyway.
Agreed. Agreed. I hate that question a lot because it doesn't really encompass what you want to convey, and it's not an inclusive question of what a relationship is about, or what I want our relationship to be about, or what I value a relationship to be. Like, what does the table have to do with the relationship?
Right. So let me ask you this: if you're the breadwinner of the relationship, is he still considered the head of the household? Be honest.
If that's how you look at the structure of a home, then yes. If you're in a place where you value, your church, church husband, wife, children, and you value your head of household to be your spouse as a woman, then yes, the value of the man's income doesn't deter that he's the head of your home. If that's how you see your home being structured, there's more than one way to structure your home. So it can still be true. What I think we are constant, I mean, we had this conversation a few times. We only looked at a man being his monetary value as considering him the head of the household. And that's solely because women were not allowed to make their own money. So they were the only one of value in the home. They never considered housewiving and raising kids as for women as a value. So but if you believe in that structure, yes. If you don't, you don't.
Overall, right, I think it's what works for you and your individual relationship.
Yes,
we need to stop these blanket statements where it's like, this is how you do it, and this is the only way it could work. That's not true. Are different. Cynthia says, that's a good question. If I respect you as my mate and trust you to lead, then yes, my partner would be head of household. Now, that brings up a question to me, like, why would you be with someone that you don't trust to lead anyway? How does that? But like that's a question that come up when I hear or see women like posting about how this dude don't know how to lead and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, so why are you with him? If you want a leader, why are you with someone that isn't? So this.
But a lot of women don't know to follow either.
Well, we're supposed to be able to adjust based on the situation, and you don't recognize that. Like, being the leader doesn't mean you're always in the lead.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Anyway, she was talking that heat that overheat the iPhone.
iPhone garbage. My Samsung would never do that. I'm power on. That's crazy one.
Ramon says you're one of the rare ones. I think women don't realize this about men, but we like to be needed. Telling a man he's not needed is like telling us you don't like us. And that's the personality type that I'm referring to. The one that says things all the time like, I don't need you. I could do it myself. Like that type of personality, they'll be the insufferable ones.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Why is he there if you don't need him?
And then like, I don't need a man. I want a man. And those type of things, I'm constantly reminding him and like, why them things, why are you in a relation? We need to learn about being interdependent. At a certain point, people have become uber dependent because they've been alone and single for so long, so they don't know how to operate in a relationship, but they want one. Why you want a relationship to be single with me?
Interdependent me, please.
Agreed.
Partnership me, please.
Looks like exact partnership. Stop all this submission talk. Like we wrestling or? I think it's a necessary question because we want to know where her mind is at. Women seem to deflect that question. I don't know if she deflected it from that question. Is he still considered the head of the household? Okay. Is head of the household determined by the money that you make?
Legally in your taxes or just in general?
Obviously, the head of the household is who make more. But on your taxes,
the head of a household was always considered the men because they were the breadwinners of the family. But you can only be the breadwinner when the other partner isn't allowed to make any bread at all. So that's how the structure was always set up as. So now that you have both parties can be making financial income, and the women can be making more money than the men, then now that becomes where that blurred line for some people might be. But to me, your head of household status can't be only based on your money, because then you will never be able to leave, because there's more than just money that it takes to run a home. There's a lot more. People, these millionaires and billionaires ain't getting divorced because they don't have no money. So there's a lot more that comes to it than just money.
I don't know who the head of the household is, right? But if you judging based off money, look at Rihanna and Lisa, because she's ahead of him by a country mile. So listen,
by 2 zeros.
We talking. He's on
because
Earth.
he ain't even. I don't think he's over the 500. He's not over the 500. He's not over the 100 million mark.
Hell.
So she's ahead by 2.
And here we are in the thousands. We thousandaires, and we can't get along. Talking about and she upped him a couple 100 million. Think about that. But I think that's good. We can leave it right there. It was another great episode, man. I think it went well. You have any final words?
My final words would be, do what works for you. Do it with somebody that it works for them too. Try to be clear in what you're asking for. Hopefully you're being clear in receiving what your partner is asking for. Let's try to be more inclusive and work together. Have fun at St. Thomas Carnival this week. Turn up. I'm looking forward to seeing the clips and the videos and all that comes with it. And, love you guys. I'll see you guys in a few weeks. I'm not here next week. I'm not here the week after next week. But I'll be back. The Jah ain't fall out yet.
Boy.
Maybe not. Who knows?
You heard it. I'm looking for a co-host, I guess. Co-host. As leaving me yet again. But thank you all. I really appreciate y'all coming through. Don't forget to share the live. Invite others. Tell them about a different day with Jah and Neci. Listen, like she said, do what works for you, man. Stop listening to people on the internet that, with these strangers on the internet, dog. Like, if you know your partner works or operates a certain way, try to meet them where they are. Partnership, interdependency. Learn them 2 words. And consent. That's the 3rd word. We give you homework. Learn partnership, interdependence, and consent. Learn what those words mean. All right. And go ahead, share the live. Once again, we're going to tell you, we still got this year coming up on May 13th, May 14th. We have that health and wellness virtual workshop with Dawn Wells, lead medical fitness practitioner and a blood-based nutritionist. She's going to teach you how to eat right for your blood type, how to exercise and eat properly, right? So you can get off those meds that are plaguing our community. It's going to be a live Zoom. It's only $7, and you get both days worth of information, answer all your questions to how to get off meds and get healthy the right way, not the quick, fast, easy way, but it's how to change your lifestyle for real and continue living longer and better. All right. Check you out next Sunday. I'm going to hopefully find somebody by next week. Stay tuned to see the difference. We gonna hit that up. We appreciate it. Share the live, man. We love you guys. We out.